Hi, my name's Leola, and welcome to my interpersonal communication talk. Today is July the 5th. I want to start off with what I think is a very funny story. I've been married for 34 years. My husband and I have 5 beautiful children. And about 23 years ago, my oldest son was with me, and we were driving somewhere, cannot remember where, but a little ways into the drive, he says to me, "Mommy, I really have to go to the restroom." And I'm thinking, oh no. And I'm thinking, okay, what tree can we pull over? Because we were ways from where we were going, and there was really nowhere to go to the restroom. And I said, "Well, sweetie, do you have to go number 1 or number 2? What do you need, sweetie?" And he said, "Well, I gotta go number 2, Mom." And I was like, oh no. So I said, "Okay, sweetie." I was like, just hold your cheeks together. Hold them tight. Mommy's going fast as she can. And he says, "Okay, Mom, I'll try." Oh, he's just trying. And he got real quiet. I figured, okay, he's being tough. He's trying not to move around and talk. He doesn't want to go potty on himself. That's great. And I looked in the rearview mirror to check him out, and he is holding his cheeks as tightly as he can, just holding his little cheeks. And I burst into just laughter, because talk about miscommunication, talking about saying one thing and someone taking it as something else. And that to me was like a prime example of kind of what I've been learning in this class, and what I've learned in this class has been life-changing for me. Interpersonal communication is a strategic approach that helps facilitate meaningful communication between individuals and groups. Excuse me, I'm not well. It involves developing strategies and techniques when you decide to do an interpersonal communication plan. An interpersonal communication plan has a purpose, and that purpose is to help establish some clear objectives, identify some key areas that you want to work on. So it's really good to have a plan on how you are going to grow in your communication in your home, in your workplace, in your church. And I've discovered through this class that I have never learned to listen, and I have never learned to communicate properly. And I kind of feel a little bit ripped off not having this class when I was younger, because I think it would have helped a lot, not just with myself, but with my family that I grew up with in general. If we just knew how to communicate, a lot of things would have been, it wouldn't have been, things would have been a lot better, because we would have known how to share, and we would have learned how to listen. So when I took the Uniquely You testing, I kind of had an idea that I probably would end up being dominant, but I didn't realize how much of a dominant person I was. And I did not realize the repercussions of being a dominant person without direction on how to properly utilize that dominance, not just to your own personal benefit, but to the benefit of all those around you. And so I was raised in a military family, and being raised in a military family, I think that all of my brothers and sisters were all dominant people. We're all degreed people. We're all going after the next thing, or the next business, or the next whatever it might be. We're all very regimented in what we do. And we're all leaders in some capacity. We're all servants in some capacity is our main jobs. I serve with children. My sister serves with homeless military people. My younger sister serves the Black community in a doula project, helping Black women that are having problems with birth and things like that. And then my little brother works for a company, and he specifically works with the homeless. And so we're all in some type of servant leader capacity. Um, but again, being a dominant person can be to your detriment if you're not aware of how that can hurt others. And so I really feel like that's why I'm a dominant. The dominant came back so much. Um, so communication barriers. So in reference to disclosing and discussing some of the most significant interpersonal communication barriers and issues that I have discovered throughout this course, communication barriers for me: not listening, not hearing what the other person is saying, not understanding what they're trying to say, looking to respond instead of to understand, looking to be heard instead of hearing. There's a word in scripture that is said very often. It says Shemai, Shema Israel, and it means to not just to hear, but Shema also means to listen. And a lot of times we have been taught to hear, but we have not been taught to listen, and that is the predominantly my problem. So that has hindered me negatively in my relationships, because a lot of times people will want to share things with me, but they're afraid that I'm just going to be ready with a solution, because I'm a solutions person. So I'll listen to have a solution, or I'll listen just to respond to give a better whatever. And that has not been a good thing. I've shut down some relationships because of that. And since coming into that information with this class, I have changed my train of thought with that. So in reference to my goal is to use the dominance for the glory of the Most High God, that it would be a dominance that would be a humble dominance, that it would be a righteous dominance, and not a worldly type of a dominance. It would be a dominance to the benefit of others first, and then myself. My goals and strategies are going to be: I want to improve my active listening skills. I want to learn to actively listen to people, give my full attention. I want to be able to give eye contact without giving kind of a side eye or rolling my eyes, that type of thing. I want to be able to avoid distractions and truly be engaged in that conversation. I want to practice empathy. That's something I need to practice. I want to really try to understand another person's perspective and not try to change their mind. Avoiding interruptions. I don't want to interrupt, because normally someone will be talking and they're telling me something. I'll try to interject real quick before I forget my thought. That's always been my excuse, and I realize that's not an excuse. I want to really get clarification on what they're saying, and I want to be able to articulate back to them what they're saying. So these are some goals that I have in reference to trying to do better in that area. So in reference to a specific kind of formulated actions that I will be applying, I really want to take more classes. I want to take more classes like these. I want to read more books in reference to how to listen better. I want to be held accountable. And so my plan is to find an accountability partner at church, preferably leadership, that is going to help hold me accountable, and ask me, are you truly listening? Are you being humble? Things like that. So my plan is just mostly accountability, taking classes and reading more, and taking what I've learned from this class and putting feet to it by being held accountable for what I've learned. So in conclusion, my interpersonal communication plan the Most High God gave us 2 ears to listen and 1 mouth to talk. And I'm going to close this one right here and open these and learn to Shema. Like God would tell Israel, Shema, Israel, Shema, Shema. Hear and listen. The Lord our God is one. Thank you so much for this class, and I look forward to many more like it.